Oregon and later Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Played well enough that in 1958, he was a 21st round draft pick of the Philadelphia Eagles. That's right, he drafted 30 rounds then.
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by the 13-time Pro Bowler Ray Lewis. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
So, Charles, as mentioned, we've got another Coach Madden over here on the AFC sideline. Of course, his Raiders, members of the AFC West. So this is a conference he battled in for his entire career. And you think about the landscape of the NFL as he was getting into the back half of his tenure. It was a golden era for coaches. You had Don Shula, Tom Landry, Chuck Noll, Bud Grant. But it was John Madden who had the best winning percentage of them all, CD. 759, the best ever.
Brandon, it's hard to believe he could be so successful in the conference with all those great teams. The Steelers won 4 Super Bowls. The Dolphins won 2 and were a mainstay in the playoffs. The Colts were tough. The Broncos came on late and went to a Super Bowl themselves. But against Hall of Fame coaches, John Madden's record, 36, 16, and 2. That's pretty incredible. His Raiders were a factor each and every year.
That throw by Brady incomplete. But Charles, you mentioned Coach was a 21st round draft pick back in 1958. Was the Philadelphia Eagles who selected him. But unfortunately for John, knee problems, they just continued to dog him. He was hurt in his first training camp. Actually never saw the field as a player in the NFL. But it was still during his time with the Eagles. You and I were talking about this before going on air, that you could start to see the light bulb going on for what his career path might entail.
And it went on in a big way, didn't it? Because while he was rehabbing his knee, he started to spend a lot of time breaking down film with the Eagles with quarterback Norm Van Brocklin, the future Hall of Famer and future head coach in the NFL. Remember, Norm Van Brocklin coached with the Falcons, he coached with the Vikings. And it's there, during that time, I think Coach Madden realized his love of football and love for teaching, combining all that together, and that meant being a football coach. So in 1960, began his coaching career at a small college south of San Luis Obispo called Allen Hancock, and then later at San Diego State University under another legendary coach, the guy that throw it around pretty well, Don Coryell.
A gain of 3, second down.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he's a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Brady going to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Gonzalez. And he's brought down. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball across the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. They'll try a toss here to Bettis. And he is into the end zone for an AFC touchdown. Jerome Bettis. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the AFC has taken the early lead. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
And there's been a Terry now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The NFC offense coming out here. And you know, Charles, Coach Madden always said that if he had one drive to win a game and he had to pick a quarterback, he would pick Kenny Stabler. But I think if you asked him to omit any of his Raiders players, there's a good chance the guy he'd select would be Brett Favre.
Brett Favre is always smiling. He's always laughing. He's always talking to someone. He remembers that it's a game. And if it's a game, you should have fun.
And Brandon, that always reminds me of a great movie line where one of the players was telling the coach, every time I say it's a game, you say it's a business. And every time I say it's a business, you say it's a game. With Coach, it was always a game.
Favre's throw complete there to Rice. But Charles, you know, it was in the early 1960s that a young John Madden made the acquaintance of the owner of the Oakland Raiders, one Al Davis, of course, and the two, they really bonded, would become one of the best owner-coach duos in NFL history. And to take it a step further, Al Davis became someone who John referred to as his best friend.
Yeah, 1967, Brandon, Al Davis hired Coach Madden to be a linebackers coach. Remember, this was still the AFL at that point. They had not merged totally with the NFL. And Coach Madden, he paid dividends almost immediately. Helped the Raiders win the AFL title in 1968. And that meant a date for the Green Bay Packers in what was now known as Super Bowl II. But by 1969, at the age of 32, just 32, Brandon, John Madden assumed the mantle of head coach of the Oakland Raiders. And what a ride he, the Raiders, and the NFL were about to go on.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. On the counter now, it's Sanders. Despite the strong run, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. Ray Lewis up from his linebacker spot to make the play. One quarter in the books at the Coliseum. What a day. It's the AFC Stars with the early lead. This is the John Madden Legacy game on EA Sports. The NFC with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Another run here with Sanders. And some room to work. Touchdown! 46 yards for the Hall of Famer Barry Sanders. And the NFC just an extra point away from tying up this game. Well, we've said it many times. He is always a threat to go the distance anytime he's got the ball in his hands. And on this occasion, he did just that.
Well, he's definitely the guy that makes this offense go. And when you're an RB1, running back one, you've got to be willing to be patient at times as well. Not every run's going to be the home run we saw there. But once you get that opportunity, that opening, you take full advantage.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And Hall not going to bring this one out. And the AFC making their way out, and it's one of Coach's favorites, another local guy, Tom Brady, who will be at the controls. And boy, Coach always admired the way number 12 could run an offense, and especially his ability to stay calm under pressure.
Tom Brady is a guy who's always looking downfield. He never looks at the rush. He hangs in the pocket, and he makes a throw. He's a cool guy, and he's a tough guy. Let me tell you, there's no one calmer in the pocket than Tom Brady.
And I know that Coach has a great appreciation for Tom Brady, who turned 45 back on August 3rd, because Coach coached a guy like him in George Blanda, who played a long time in the NFL. In this game, it features legends and active players. Tom Brady qualifies as both.
Brady now on 1st down. He's going deep for Brown. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Ronnie Lott, the Hall of Famer, with a pick. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Pressure, and the AFC gets to him for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Off the play fake, here's Favre. He's going to float this one deep right side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he will score.